Hello everyone, and welcome to the, wait, what number are we on?
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6th ever episode of the Last Resort podcast. What you listen to when there's nothing, when the internet...
Go again.
What you listen to when the internet has nothing better to offer.
Oh, nailed that first time. Well done.
When
Quality job.
when the internet has nothing better to offer. There you go.
You'd have no idea that you'd already done... How many episodes? 5 episodes of this? We need some bloopers at the end of this episode. That's all I'm saying.
What you listen to when the internet has nothing better to offer. There you go.
There we go. Okay, quality. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Did you like that slick edited together intro to cut out all the bad stuff? Well, actually there was no bad stuff, as it doesn't exist anymore, as Lucy's editing this.
No.
If I was editing this one, it would still exist, but sadly Lucy's.
I'll put it in the start after the actual intro.
Okay.
I'll put it in the start.
Yeah, or like right at the very start, even like before the music.
Yeah.
Just have like the music start and then just cut out, just go back
Like
and
your
start
record scratch.
again. Yeah, goes in and then it rewinds right to the start. Anyway, yeah, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yes.
Kerblam.
I actually quite like this episode.
I really liked it. I really liked it. It was the first time that like I've watched the thing and I found like everything in there just felt really well put together and like it needed to be in there and like it didn't hold too much on one bit. And
I liked that the start of it was her like oh, I must have ordered this a really long time ago, and then it was a Fez from Matt's era.
Throwback. Yeah, and then we got another throwback to Unicorn and the Wasp with Agatha Christie, which I really liked. That made me laugh.
Oh, that was
yeah. Supporting cast I think was really good as well, and like every character around the story, I think worked really well.
I just think like every as like a whole round was like just really good.
As like the issue that I've had with a lot of the episodes of this series is like the pacing just seemed a bit off on all of them, and it just seemed like it was going really fast and then just went really slow. But I feel like this one had a nice like rhythm to it.
Yes.
As you know, they went there, they got there, and then also I really like the way that they kind of like split up, and we got equal amount on like every companion. So like we got Graham with the maintenance guy, and we got Yaz and the Doctor with the other Yaz with Lee Mack's character, and then we got the Doctor and Ryan with the other girl. And it just felt like every companion was actually there, unlike in the first few episodes. It was Graham and Brian. Graham and Ryan. Graham and Brian. It's because his name's Graham O'Brien.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so the one line that I really loved was when the Doctor was saying to the janitor, to what's his name, Charlie. She said. And you fell in love. That happens sometimes. Or so she was like, that's how it happens, or something like that. And I'm like, ooh. and
then I really like the way that it also felt like it came to a really good conclusion and like ending, because it tied up the whole thing about Yaz going, I want to go see this guy's daughter.
Yeah, that was so. And the way that Doctor like not in like a romantic way, just the way that Doctor looked at her like. Oh my god, like that's like really sweet, yeah.
Yeah, I felt about 3 moments in here where I saw Yaz did a Yaz thing, if that makes sense. It's like she had that, and then she also like pinned Charlie down, which police officer.
I was waiting for her to do that because when Charlie had the button and all that, you couldn't see Yaz behind the Doctor, and I thought she was like gonna come up behind him and like whack him on the head or something.
Yeah.
But she still like did the whole like the whole like police officer
did
thing.
The proper like arm thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And then the robots were creepy as well.
Yeah, the
They work
robots
really
creep.
well
Yeah.
as an enemy. The one thing that I was kind of a bit annoyed about is the way that the Doctor found this tank of, a decent amount of melted people.
Yes.
And she was just like, oh, they melted people, and then she just turns away and keeps on talking. And it's like, have the "I'm so sorry" line again. Like, no matter how many times she says that, I think that will still hold value. Because no matter how many times it's till someone's died. And that carries the same value no matter how many times it happens.
But this was the one villain, so to say, that didn't get away. Because he died.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we might see him again. Wouldn't it be like really shook if like I was like, lol, I was
Charlie
also a
turns up.
robot and I didn't actually
Oh
die.
my god.
No.
Oh no, look, I teleported away.
Oh my god, that would.
Who'd have thought it?
Because like from what you said in
cheesy.
like one of the first few episodes, you said that you think that at the end or like at the end of the season or whatever, there's going to be like a big thing where all like maybe there's possibly like the villainous characters might come back.
So personally, I don't want there to be.
Oh no, I don't want there to be.
But I know a lot of people
it's
are expecting it.
It's like it kind of makes sense that it could possibly happen. Less so, I think. Now we've got more into the season, the series.
Yeah, the further we've got in, the less.
I think there's a possibility that it might be there.
And like one theory that like everyone seems to have had since I can't remember her name. The woman in episode 2, Armstrong and the woman. Was she Armstrong? Episode 1 Armstrong, whichever one the woman one was from episode 2 with the race with all the flying stuff. She said like. The Stenser killed my wife too.
Yeah.
People have been like, the Stenser got mentioned again. That means they're going to be the big bad villain in this whole series. But then they've not been mentioned since, but people still expect it to be. But I think, I personally don't think that line was there to hint again at the Stenser. I think it was just that story was happening at the same time as the first one, just across the universe.
Yeah.
So the Stenser would still be a presence at that time.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that they wanted to have a line where she said "mine too" in relation to someone's wife being killed. In fact, so I think that might be why they wanted that line.
Yeah.
I don't know. But personally, I don't think, and I hope that the Stenser aren't going to return as a big bad villain. Like, maybe one day they could return. I don't know. We might do.
I don't know.
But we've not got long to wait now, like 3 weeks.
Oh, how excited are you for I'm a Slap? Sorry, just kind of like a not even like a segue. It's just how excited are you?
It's all TV. It's all good. There's a clip on Instagram from the show, and it looks really good.
Can't wait.
And like everyone going in there just seems really good, and I know about half of them. And then Nick Knowles is going to be in as well.
When I said to my parents that John Barrowman was going to be on it, they were like, "Oh no, what really?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's going to like he was like he's going to like stir so much stuff. Like they think that he's like just too over the top." And so I think, but I think it's going to be so great. He's going to. I really hope he wins. He's the one I want to win so far.
Same.
It hasn't even started, but I still already want him to win. The king and the queen of the jungle.
Yes, to be the king and the queen of the jungle.
I'm hoping. Sorry, I'm hoping that if he wins and they say the new king of the jungle, he goes, no.
King and
queen.
Get it right, guys. Oh, it's going to be so good. And like, I think that they've got a really so on one hand, I think that they've got a really good like diverse range, but on the other hand, there are going to be like 4 over 50 males in there, which is something that I've noticed, but I don't know.
But we have John somewhere.
Yeah, so that's fine. And then also Anne Hegarty is just brilliant in there.
I feel like she's going to take on like the whole like mother role or some kind of.
Yeah,
because I don't really know her other than like outside of the chase. One, I don't mean like, okay, so mother's not the right word, but like I mean like leader almost, like in charge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Because
think
I only really know her
think
from The Chase, so that's the only like personality traits in her. She
yeah.
has like this know-it-all, and
Yeah. I was like, she's definitely going to speak her mind and give advice and play an active role, but Mother's not. I
no,
don't think Mother's going to
mother's
be
not
the
the right
big
word,
thing
but I
to
feel
it.
like she'll take on like a
Yeah.
leaderish role. She'll want to
Yeah.
be in
And then
charge.
yeah, and then there's also going to be John who's going to be doing that too.
Yeah,
It's like something a
just
lot,
so
and then
happy about John Barrowman
I
being in
feel
it.
like I feel like Nick Knowles is just going to be like there, and he's going to be kind of laid back, but he's going to be like in the middle kind of zone of like knowing when to shut up, but like also having an active role, if that makes sense.
Yes. The only other person I
Who
like
else is there?
know properly is Fleur East, because she did
Oh yeah.
like that sax song, like play
Sure.
that sax. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
I
That's the
know,
only
I know
song
the
of
one
hers I
you
know.
mean.
But she's like the only one other person I know.
Yeah,
There's some like other actors and stuff in there. But I can't wait
yeah,
next weekend to talk about this. Our second segment.
yeah.
We're gonna have another segment, guys.
There's so much. Yeah, another segment arriving. Doctor Who, then I'm a Celebrity. But then that one's only going to last for like next week, the week after, and the week after that. So, oh wait, is the final of I'm a Celebrity going to coincide with the last episode of Doctor Who? Because wait, so we've just had 7. We're going to have 8 next week, 9 and 10. We're going to have the beginning of I'm a Celebrity today, and then first week gone, second week gone. It might do if it's on the Sunday.
I always forget that we have it every
At
day.
least the weekend's going to be the same. Yeah, yeah. So like, I watched it properly first in 2016, and then when you got round to 2017 again, it started, and I watched the first one, and then I was like, wait a minute, it's on again tomorrow, not next Sunday. And oh, it's such a good show.
It is. I really love it. My dad hates it.
Really? So like, normally I don't like reality
Oh
shows
no, yeah,
at
but
all,
this isn't.
especially
This
ones like
is.
Love Island.
Oh god, I
But
hate
this
one.
is.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's just like, the stereotype of attractive shoved together on an island, and we watch for 3 weeks. I don't know what.
I don't know. I think
But
it's too like
yeah,
orchestrated to be reality TV.
but this is just such a variety of people shoved into such an extreme, and
Yeah,
it's just
like because you
entertaining
take
and
like genuine celebrities and put them in the situation that they've probably never been into before, of
yeah.
like being starving and having to do all these things. Like, yeah,
It's like I feel like most reality shows are taking relatively like big-headed normal people, but not in like an offensive way, but like confident normal people, and putting them in like you're now a celebrity environment. But I'm a Celebrity is taking celebrities and then putting them in an environment when they're forced to be as raw and as them as they can
yeah,
be. Because when you're genuinely starving and hungry and fighting for food, you aren't going to have the energy to put up an act and
yeah.
be,
Which is why
you
I
know,
think it's going to be interesting to see John Barrowman, because he has this whole
yeah.
like thing, and but I feel like he's still gonna be like that, but I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
he's he's gonna keep being John
Yeah,
Barrowman.
but like
There
a
might be
crankier John
days when he's a
Barrowman.
bit like tired,
Yeah,
but that's not, that's John Barrowman being John
John
Barrowman.
Barrowman.
John Barrowman.
We said John Barrowman to put John Barrowman in the
Oh
title
god.
of this episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. John Barrowman, and John Barrowman.
Name it. I'm a celeb and John Barrowman, and then go on to the next
Yes.
one.
Oh god.
Okay, what?
He's one of my favourite Doctor Who characters.
Oh,
I think.
agreed. And then
Captain
Torchwood as well.
Jack.
I haven't really watched Torchwood properly yet, but I really want
I've
to watch
seen
it.
like half of the first series, but then I just didn't finish. I just stopped watching it. And I don't know why. I've not
It's
carried on with it.
if you like, I've had friends like really gay friends, who like really love
Yeah.
Doctor Who the same amount as like I do, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Have you seen Torchwood? It's like the gay Doctor Who," and I'm like,
Oh god.
okay, I'm gonna have to watch Torchwood at some
I've
point.
got to watch this now. Oh, it's good.
What do you want to do next? Are we gonna do 66, or am I gonna do my conspiracy?
Firstly, can we just
Oh yes.
quickly swing back round to the other bit of Doctor Who
Sorry.
news that we've had this week, because we really
Oh
quickly
yeah,
hyped it up. So we've got really good news confirmed next year, Series 12, which is great. So it's not just going to be a New Year's Day special we have in 2019. But then there's also the scary rumours of Chibnall leaving after next series,
yeah.
and if Chibnall leaves, Whittaker will leave. Which,
I really don't want to
after
happen.
today's episode, I'm like, no.
Please
At
don't.
least 3 series.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. but it's not really important.
What?
But I just feel like after this episode, we're gonna get loads of screenshots because the Doctor looks looks off like really like stoically and like she looks really good, and we don't get a lot of photos that aren't her looking like insane.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like we're gonna get lots of screenshots.
So one thing I loved is right at the start when the Kerblam man arrived. The Doctor literally like jumped in the air and skipped over to him. And I was like, that's such a Doctor reaction to getting an unexpected parcel.
And then she looked so stupid with that fez on. I loved it so much.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, do you want to do your conspiracy theory?
Okay. My conspiracy theories have kind of been like semi-serious, well not serious, but they haven't been like fun, right? This one's more fun. It's it's about the High School Musical.
Okay.
Do you not like High School Musical?
I've never, not really, and I've never seen it, and I don't really intend to.
Okay, whatever. But you know the basic like outlines of what it is, right?
I know it's a bunch of kids who burst into song every 5 minutes
Yes.
for no reason at school.
Well, this is a conspiracy theory that it's about a socialist revolution.
Sounds more interesting already.
So there's an article. It's on MTV. It's not that long because it's like listing lots of different conspiracy theories. But it says High School Musical isn't about being the star of the basketball team and the star of the show. It's about overthrowing an oppressive system. So someone says, our heroic characters are two youngsters who have been brought up in various systems which are designed to hold them in their positions. However, both of them want to quote-unquote break free, which is one of the songs they sing, from these restraints and take ownership of their own destiny, just like how socialist theory states that the proletariat needs to take ownership of the means of production in order to free themselves from class and capitalist oppression.
Is that like the urban proletariat in Russia?
Yeah.
We'll throw shout out to A-level history.
Yeah, man. And then that's kind of short-lived conspiracy theory. But there's some other ones like it's basically. Do you know what The Purge is?
The film.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, my High School Musical is basically The Purge. Because at the end, because at the end of like their time at school, all they do is like throw their papers in the air and trash the whole school, and so that when that bell goes, it's like the purge. I don't know.
Oh, the purge has begun.
Yeah. Also, a gay one being that if you've seen High School Musical, you know these characters, but Chad and Ryan have a secret relationship because of like sometimes the way they look at each other and how at one point they're wearing each other's clothes.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's not a sign, then I don't know.
No, I know. It's like who are the women in Scooby Doo? What are their names? Daphne and
Velma and Daphne.
Velma and Daphne. There's like a photo of them wearing each other's clothes, and then with the caption,
Really?
"There's no heterosexual explanation for this."
God. Yeah, but it can't be because it's Velma and Shaggy, and it's Fred and Daphne.
Oh no!
As said in Scooby-Doo Mission Incorporated,
it's definitely
the best Scooby-Doo series. For some reason, no one liked that, and it really annoyed me. I really liked it. It's proper good Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I just love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I didn't like the ones where like Shaggy randomly had no arms, or you know.
I like the films though, like the live action films.
Oh yeah,
I still love the live action films.
They're cool. I've not seen them in such a long time.
Me too. I'm probably gonna watch them now after this.
I know you won't. You've only got an hour.
Oh, true. I probably have to run a celebrity. Whatever.
1 hour 40-minute episode.
Oh yeah.
With celebrity.
Okay, so have you got a 66?
Oh, 66. Okay, yeah. So.
Okay. I'm excited.
I've been kind of busy this weekend because my brother came home and there was Fantastic Beasts, which I watched, which you haven't watched. Which I'm
no, but I have seen Bohemian Rhapsody, which I'll talk about afterwards.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to wait till next week to talk about I'm a Celeb, because you better have seen it by then. So.
Don't do a lot of spoilers for Fantastic Beasts because I'm gonna go see it next weekend, and the viewers probably haven't seen it. Whatever.
I won't. I'm like now. I'm not going to mention it at all.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah. So and also this week in school, like we've mostly been doing coursework, so we've not learnt much new. So I thought I'd do a throwback to year to year 12. And I'm going to talk about the Stamp Act in America in the 1760s. Do you remember that?
Yes, I had a feeling you were going to do that when you were doing that in the library the other day. You were doing America revision.
Yeah.
I was
because
like,
I've started revising.
I was like, you're gonna, Sam's gonna, you know, talk about
use it as
America.
a last resort at some point.
Yeah. Hey, last resort.
Oh, last resort. Oh, that wasn't even intentional. I literally just meant. Oh god. Okay. Let me just get my 60. As you know, I do a stopwatch reset.
I'm gonna do it as well.
Okay.
I was doing a stopwatch.
I got a feeling this is gonna be really difficult, but.
Timer.
I'm gonna have a really quick drink. Okay.
Okay. I'll edit that out.
Sure. Or you can make it, even louder just to deafen everyone. Okay.
I will.
I'm ready. Okay. Hang on. Wait. Am I? Maybe I'm not.
Tell me when you're about to start.
Okay. I'm ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So the Stamp Act was an act brought in by back in the 1700s. America was divided into colonies which were ruled by Britain. In 1765, the British government decided to impose a Stamp Act on the colonies, which meant that every official paper document, like newspapers and legal stuff, would have to have a tax put on it. This really annoyed Americans because they weren't represented in Parliament, so they did not think that they should have to be taxed. And worst of all, this act specifically aggravated lawyers and journalists and newspaper people because they were the ones making these documents. So as a result of this, there was a Stamp Act Congress in June 1765, in October 1765, where 9 of the colonies met and argued against it, and it also began the ideological debate and mob action, which then eventually led to the repeal of the Stamp Act as it became unenforceable. The Stamp Act had many consequences, as it was really the first time that America had united and stood up against Britain and laid the way for the American Revolution.
Good job.
Okay. I hope that was kind of coherent.
Yeah. It was clever.
A couple stammers in there which slowed me down, but
yeah. It's stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, I've literally got over 2 pages of notes on this, so to have to explain it all in 66 seconds.
So,
do you feel educated?
I do feel educated. Thank you for helping me revise.
You feel like you've revised. I'm helping you revise for your mocks in January.
Yeah, I have to start doing that actually.
Good.
Do a bit more.
Yeah. Just okay. So just make sure it's like. Do you want to have a little tip here?
I do, yes, but I'm sure that the audience are thrilled to be hearing this.
Well, yeah, it's a useful tip for the audience because if they need to revise, they want to know it. So I watched some YouTube videos, and the best way to revise is via a method called active recall, which is basically where you learn your notes and you make sure you know them, and then rather than rewriting them, you go away and you just sit down and you try and write out everything you know about everything. And even if you do terribly, you're still trying to remember.
Yeah.
So then it helps you remember. And then compare the thing you've just written to your actual notes and then go, I forgot that and I forgot that and I forgot that. And then wait a day and then go back to it. And then wait 2 days and go back to it. And then wait a week and go back to it. And if you do that over a month, it's really good for revision.
Okay. What?
Now you're going to pass your exam.
Thanks. I'm gonna get into every uni that I apply for now.
Yeah. There's all studies and stuff on it. It's really cool.
Sounds pretty good actually.
It is.
Okay, so since we have 7 minutes left.
7 minutes left.
Yeah, we do have 7 minutes left.
I feels like we've been going a long time with I'm a Celebrity and everything.
Okay, so I was going to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to go see it at some point? Do you think, or see it
Probably
on
not.
Netflix or whatever it comes out now?
If I ever get access to it, then yeah, I will see it.
If you are a fan of Queen, it's so phenomenally good, and it tells a story in such a good way, and it's so heart wrenching, and I cried at the end, and they were because at the end they were doing their Live Aid performance, and It was just, I don't know, it was just really, really, really good. And like I was singing along, and it was just.
Was like the whole cinema singing?
No, but as in like
Just
I was like
you.
mouthing along to the words, and I'm sure everybody
Oh,
else
okay,
was.
okay.
And then you could like feel your seats shaking when We Will Rock You was on, because everybody was like subtly like banging their feet on the floor, and it was so good. It was
I was
just
like, it looks really good because we saw a trailer for it when we saw Fantastic Beasts. Actually, my parents said that they wanted to see it, so if they do go, I might be able to like sneak in there and get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only reason I go see movies with my parents, is to get free tickets and free food and stuff.
Everything is free. Go to Nando's with your parents, guys.
Oh, Mike, we can't. My mum's gluten free.
Oh, what?
Sorry. but I'm gonna go see Fantastic Beasts on the weekend with my dad though.
That's good.
I can't wait.
Good.
Did it shock you, Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah. So like, there's issues with. So I have issues with it,
right?
And I see problems with it, and I get why. As there's a lot of fans which are like, I really hated that. But personally, I kind of really enjoyed it, and it's a film that you can watch and you can just keep thinking and thinking and thinking about, and you just keep on exploring and questioning and trying to work out what happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not fair. It's not very like definitive.
Yes.
There's lots going on, so it's good. Go see it. As I know you will.
Would you suggest me watching the first one again before I go see the second one?
Yeah. So I watched the first one the day before I went to see this one, and yeah, you should. And also, there are like small things and like returning characters that you might not notice unless you've just seen the first one.
Okay.
So it's worth it.
Okay, I'll watch it just before we go.
Good. Bohemian Rhapsody isn't playing our local place,
What?
which I won't name.
Oh, the theatre.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a shame. My parents probably won't go see it now. I'll have to wait to
What
do.
Oh, I'll bleep that out.
Because
I'll get rid of that. Yeah. It's fine.
Why didn't you just go to?
No, I just like blank it out. It's fine.
Okay.
Why do you just go there?
Because that means paying for the train, which is £6.
I mean, like with your parents.
And then, because like they won't be bothered to go there.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
It's too far. It's like 20-minute drive.
Oh, it's so long.
Yeah, but then you got to pay £6 for parking, and then you got to. The cinema's more expensive.
Okay.
It's the whole thing, isn't it?
All right.
The whole deal.
We've got 3 minutes. What should we talk about?
I think we should talk about the fact that we're getting, like Christmas is like getting there.
Not yet. Not till 1st December.
You don't think? Well, no. So basically, I thought of it because it's the light switch on next week.
On the weekend, yeah.
On the weekend.
Because I was not going to be able to come to that because we moved because I was going to see my grandma this week, but we didn't go, so we moved to the next weekend. But my dad knows he won't be well enough to go, and so we've moved it again. So I'm going to be able to come. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a shame there isn't someone really famous in the pantomime this year because. They're not going to be
kind of famous people.
Well, yeah, but it's not like last year where
it's no Alison Hammond.
No, because we were like footsteps away from Alison Hammond.
I freaked out because I wasn't expecting her.
No, I wasn't expecting
and
it
I
to
saw
be there.
Alison Hammond in a massive pink frock, and I was like, oh my god!
Just in the parade, yeah.
What? She's waving a fairy wand, and I was like, oh, it's crazy.
So good. But no, we're not. I'm not accepting any Christmas talk until so that one day next Saturday we can have that one day to pretend it to be Christmas. Oh my god, light switch on, big tree, and then 25th, no Christmas until the 1st of December.
The 1st of December.
And then I'm going to be wearing my Christmas jumper on Christmas now.
Oh my god! So I'm really annoyed because I recently got a jumper, and
What did you say?
So when I got it, I didn't think that it was Christmassy, but the more I look at it, the more Christmassy I think it is. So I'm now paranoid that it's a Christmas jumper.
Mine says season's greetings, and then it's got salt and pepper on the front.
That's brilliant.
I love it.
Brilliant. If I can find a picture of this jumper, I'll send it to you because I need a second opinion as to whether or not this is Christmassy.
Okay.
But I'll do that once we've left everyone
Yeah.
to carry on with their
Well, we
lives.
could do it now. We're at 30.
Yeah, we can leave everyone to carry on with their lives.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. Listening.
Oh, very much, guys. Listening.
Listening.
Nailed that outro first time.
Yeah.
You've done the same at the start.
Shut up.
Okay. And we'll see you next
Yeah,
week.
we will.
Well,
You'll hear us
you
next
will
week.
hear us. Yeah, with I'm a Celebrity.
Oh yeah, with I'm a Celebrity from the whole week.
Yeah. And it's the Richard III episode, The Witchfinders, next week, isn't it?
I don't know.
Or is that the week after?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't pay attention. I just watch it as it comes out.
Don't even know. Well, but we will have Fantastic Beasts as
Yes.
well next week. That'll be good.
Okay. Yes. So see you next
Thank you very
week.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh honey, though our friendship ceases from now on, please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the wait, what number are we on? Number 6.
6, yeah.
Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6th ever episode of the Last Resort podcast. What you listen to when there's nothing, when the internet. Oh, crap.
Go again.
What you listen to when the internet has nothing better to offer.
Oh, nailed that.